Most of you guys were like, what is this clown doing in the beds with the weed eater hitting mulch and stuff? Look, all you need is a little edge on the sidewalks, a little edge on driveways, any concrete. And many times using the weed eater is really, really quick and easy. Welcome back, Warriors. Another episode of Elite Landscapes Life Stories. It is Wednesday. Yesterday rained us out. And it's hard sometimes when you're ready to roll and you're motivated. You have this big list and a lot of money to go make, and it rains. And you sit there in your basement or your garage or your shop and you just look at the rain. And you're just wishing it would stop, to lighten up a little bit. But in the long run, sometimes you just gotta throw in the towel for work and enjoy the day. That's what we did. So today's video, we have this large front bed that we installed a couple years back, and it's coming in okay. Filling in slowly. Year by year, they add plants and perennials. So we're gonna clean it up, and I'll let you know how much this job was at the end of the video and how I went to bed bidding it, okay? Let's do it. So the first order of business, we're trimming back some perennials, doing just some snips here and there with needed, and we're gonna start with this little guy. And you can go ahead and trim him all the way back. You can see the cuts from last year. A little bit better on this one. So don't be scared to cut them all the way down, and they do come back nice and healthy. So this is a hydrangea, and sometimes you can't really tell if the stem is going to come back to life the next year. And the easy way to tell is just to take a little snip, and if it's green, then it's still alive. If it's brown, then that branch is dead. So he was still brown, but we'll trim this guy over here. He still has green life, so, and you already know he's budding back out. So just a little tip, and I'll keep on putting out little tips here and there when I come across them for the rest of the trimming and mulching season. We interrupt this section briefly to show you a large hydrangea before we trim it. Very large. There's Dalton right beside me, and it's taller than us. We got two more over here that will show you before and after pictures, and I'll show you right now where we're trimming this one and where else you can trim these amazing, beautiful flowering shrubs. So what we're gonna do here, because the deer come around often and they like to eat these things, we're gonna trim them high, right above that nodule. That way, he already has two buds on either side, getting ready to grow new growth. And if you trim them low and you have deer around, it's perfect height for the deer to just come eat, and they will. They'll eat the new growth off of them and the new buds. So we're gonna leave these kind of trimmed high. We're just gonna snip off the blooms. But if I wanted to downsize this one, where you have the 1, 2, 3 coming out, you can trim a node right below it, and then the next 3 will come out, okay? Or you can actually trim this thing anywhere you want, as long as it's right above the new leaf notch, right? We're gonna move to the butterfly bushes after we show you the after effects of our trimming here, okay? And then we'll go back to our amazing mulch job that you're watching right now. All right, there's that one trimmed. Like I said, we left them nice and tall. so he wouldn't be munchable size by the deer. And if you look closely in there, you can see where the thick branches are from last year's trimming compared to just taking the blooms off. So we'll move over here to Dalton. See how big it is? Huge, huge hydrangeas. And that's not even the tree form, that's just a bush. So here's a perfect example where we trimmed it back last year, right above that notch I was talking about. And they grow 2 or 3 forks off of those brand new cuts. So when you're trimming the hydrangeas, wherever you're gonna cut, you're gonna have 2 or 3 branches come out and they look beautiful. So yeah, that's it for the hydrangeas. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done, and we'll go to the butterfly bushes in the back. The amazing butterfly bush. Everybody knows these, everybody loves them. They're beautiful when they bloom out. These got trimmed down really low last year, and because they were ginormous. And now we're gonna just lightly trim them, and I'm actually gonna use my hedge trimmers first to speed up the process. So we'll get the hedge trimmers out, take them at a higher height like we were talking about. And then if we have any chewed up ends on the ends of the tips, we'll snip them with the clean snips, make sure everything's got a nice clean cut. All right, so I'll show you these when we're done. And like I said, this was just a quick segment just for some education, and we'll be back to the mulching. All right, so got the butterfly bushes trimmed down. Like I said, we used the hedge trimmers, but we came back and snipped clean cuts with our hand snips. And remember, butterfly bushes grow nice and easily, and they get pretty big. So any size you want to trim them, you can trim them back. So behind these bushes here, you'll see that. Those are called DIABLOs. And I think they bloom out every 2 years, and we alternate trimming. I think we're trimming them this year, and they're not gonna bloom, but they will bloom out the next year. Let me show you. Pretty large bushes, shrubs, whatever you want to call them. And they're the same kind of wood as the butterfly bushes are. Easy to maintain, and they take up a lot of good room on a big bed. So if you have areas in your yard that need good coverage, the DIABLOs will fill a space pretty good. There's not really a specific trick to trimming these. It all just depends on the location, how big you want this do to get during the summertime. All right, like my beard is like a bird's nest. Oh, speaking of bird's nest, when you see last year's bird's nest in these trees, take last year's bird's nest out, because it collects fungus and it collects moisture on branches, and those birds ain't coming back to that nest. They'll build new ones. Okay, those are the tips, and I'll show you this real quick when I'm done. And yeah, all right, so we just trimmed off the substantial growth to where we can still see them over top of this juniper bush from the porch. And we'll show you the blooms next year. The name of them are DIABLOs. All right, so the last thing I want to show you is this crepe myrtle. And you can see where I trimmed it severely this time last year, because it was all over the roof, it was all over the gutters. So we got him back down to size, and I'll show you how much growth he had in one season, and he's still in good shape. So even though you're not supposed to murder the crepe myrtles, sometimes you got to, and you don't have to do it but every 3 years or something. So don't over butcher them for no reason. Let them grow nice and beautiful and big. Now back to your normal video of mulching. I know everybody's ready to mow grass, but it's not time to mow grass, so be patient. All right, guys. What you saw me do there was just around that tree ring with a weed eater. Most of you guys were like, what is this clown doing in the beds with a weed eater hitting mulch and stuff? Look, all you need is a little edge on the sidewalks, a little edge on driveways, any concrete. And many times using the weed eater is really, really quick and easy. That gives you a nice little inch depth along sidewalks. And that's what I did around the rocks, okay? Just to knock off any built up mulch around it. Just saves time to go when you're mulching new. Looks really good, and it saves time, so. Look, I'll show you this mulch. You're not always gonna get the best quality mulch in every load because every tractor trailer is different, right? Yeah, this ain't the best, but we'll make it work. So, this obviously is not as rich and awesome as the last mulch that we had at the last two properties. But it is what it is. And you just gotta lay it a little bit thicker and take a little bit extra time to make it look good. That's all. And it's not looking bad. I mean, you just gotta fluff it up on the edges here and stuff. And lay it thicker, so. I don't know. I mean, last year's mulch was so rich and beautiful. That's why I used the dyed brown mulch. I mean, look at it. It didn't even look like it needed new mulch because it's dyed brown. So we'll come do a little paint job and make it look beautiful and roll on. What'd you say to me? You're on camera, you better watch what you say.
Nowhere near as stubborn as you.
Oh, okay. Very true. Very true. All right. We're on to the big bed now. And we're trying to beat the rain, so here we go. Not too shabby, not too shabby. But wow, the mulch quality is really poor. Really, really poor. And for all you who are looking at this red tree, it's a coral bark Japanese maple. Beautiful, beautiful tree. Look it up. coming to bug you.
Okay.
You don't mind if I come bug you?
Oh, I like it when you bug me.
You like it, huh? Well, we're almost done with the mulch.
We're not going to finish all of it.
Nah, we'll be done. I know. Same scoop in front of the trailer for like a week now.
We'll get to it. Guaranteed.
And this is that final stage I was talking about, tamping all the edges, concrete, any kind of banks that you gotta be tamping it down, making it tight. No. Hee hee. Hee hee. All right, Warriors. That was a job well done, right? And we beat the rain. And it was a very substantial, well-bidded, good-paying job. So let's go back to the lair and we'll talk about how much this landscape was, because we installed this entire landscape a few years ago. And we'll talk about how much this actual trim, cleanup, and mulching was. All right, let's roll. All right, Warriors, I'm gonna make this real quick because I have a new family member in the house and I've been extremely busy since I did the footage on this video. So, breaks down, this is the landscape that we installed, and it was an overgrown, abandoned house when they bought the property that you just looked at, us mulching. And if you scroll down here, I'll show you the total, comes to $7,500. So you can see the list of materials that I had. You can see what they were quoted at, And you can see that I didn't really have to break down everything itemized per se. And you can also see how I collected the money. I didn't wait till the end to get paid. I got paid everything except for a tiny, tiny percentage of my labor. Certain things you need to do to protect yourself. Let's look real quick at what we charged them to trim it, clean it up, and mulch it that you just washed real quick. Let's look. All right, so you can see how it's worded here. And you can also see the fact that I added at the bottom of this, any additional work you would like done will be billed for materials and $70 per hour labor. And that kind of gives them the opportunity to look around your yard the next couple weeks and figure out if they want anything else accomplished. And of course, the 10% discount that I offer for prepaid in the spring. And the prepayment email I send out to all my clients, which I've already done a video on. It's a great video that not many people saw. That's okay, because it's a secret weapon. And honestly, maybe not everybody deserves the secret weapon until they put out the energy that's involved. So, that being said, be good if you can, always be kind, and above all, love each other. Peace. Elite Landscape style.
Happy.
Well, I don't know if my wife went overboard or not, but she's not going to be ignored here. Or oh, he's really happy. I figured you'd like to see this. It just kind of cracked me up.